Um, I was still pretty ill, and my wife and I are 40 now, so the clock was ticking, so to speak, and we kind of had to get the ball rolling, even though I didn't think I was ready, and it actually helped me get better to have a different focus looking after children and stuff, because I'm a stay-at-home dad now with a 4-year-old and almost a 2-year-old, so that's sometimes funny where life goes. And the thing is that they give you a binder at the Tom Baker Cancer Center, and there's a section in it that says you may not be able to have kids. So for Amber and I, that was one of the hardest things, was maybe not being able to have them naturally. So, but yeah, I've always wanted children.
Well, when we first found out that he had cancer, the Tom Baker told us very early on that that could be a possibility, that we would be able to have kids just because of the treatments he would be exposed to. So we knew early on that we may have to look at other options and maybe seek fertility treatments as one of them. So we planned ahead of time for that. So we took the steps early on to talk to the clinic. So emotionally, we had kind of dealt with that. I know Kevin really struggled because he thought, now I'm the person that, I'm the one who can't possibly have kids, so that was hard for him. But once we just started taking the baby steps, sorry. we knew that we would get through it, and the clinic was really helpful that way.
I went into it with a positive attitude, because if you don't have that working against you, I said you'd lose your hair, and that hair today, gone tomorrow anyway, right? And I'm a pretty positive person, and just get through it with a sense of humor, and I had a good support system with my girlfriend at the time, now wife, and honestly, the part in the binder is saying not being able to have kids, and some of the statistics that people don't make it after a bone marrow transplant worried me a little bit, but I just wanted to really get going and try to get through it, even though it's been a rough road. But
yeah, it was hard for us, but I figured that we would find a way if it was that important to us. Like, I knew that there was ways to either go through in vitro, go through fertility, or adopt if that was an option for us. So because we knew that's where we wanted to go, I think it was just kind of the financial barriers. We didn't know how we were going to overcome that part of how to be parents.
Right, so yeah, like financial was always my concern, and I just didn't know if I would be ready, but when it happened, I was just thrilled and excited, and yeah, I was still pretty sick, and just concerned about the challenge that I was on disability, only making 60% of my wage, and but kind of amazed too, just at the whole process of in vitro, right? Yeah, just really excited, because I've always wanted children.
Yeah, it was so hard. Like, we were scared, we were sad. The unknown, right? Like, is this going to work for us? Is this actually going to work? Maybe I couldn't get pregnant. Like, we'd never known. So it was really hard. And then when you look around the room, and there's so many people there, just all different nationalities, and just people from all over, different ages, different, same-sex couples. There were so many different people in the room, and you just think so many people are going through this right now. So it was really hard.
Like, she used to take care of me, like my central line, and she was my caregiver for 6 months at home, and now I had to give her the needles and stuff like that, and it's an emotional roller coaster. It's harder, I think, for women going through it. Obviously, like she was pretty low at times, because not knowing if it was going to work, and then the first time it didn't work, and then you get lower, and then the ultimate high, right, is to find out that you are pregnant. But it can be pretty trying, as well as
going through the actual treatments for IVF was really hard, because they give you medications and they make you tired, they make you not feel very good, they make you emotional, and you're already emotional just going through what you're going through. So it's really hard because you don't feel good, and you're worried and you're scared, and sometimes you're lonely going through it, right? Like it's really, because you think you're the only one going through it at the time. But eventually, when you get that call, if you're lucky enough to get that call, and I remember the day they called us, Kevin and I were going out for a day trip, we were driving somewhere and we had the phone call, and right as they called us, because we were out of the limits, the phone got out, and we're like, no! So we ended up finally getting somewhere where we had some reception, and they called us back and said, you're pregnant, and we were just over the moon. Like, we were just like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. But even then, because you struggle through this whole process, so they tell you you're pregnant, and then your fears start, now what if I lose this baby? Like, we've done all this work to get here. And I sort of thought, when we hear you're pregnant, that was going to be everything, and you'd be so excited. And then it was, now we just need to get through the first 3 months. We need to hold on to this little being and make sure we have a successful pregnancy and a little baby in our arms at the end. So, yeah. So emotional after you go through everything to get pregnant. You have this little baby now inside you, and you just want the baby to be protected and to keep baby safe, and you've spent so much money on treatments, which isn't great to say, but it's true, and just the emotions that are associated and everything. And then it's so joyous, like it's incredible just at the first time you feel the baby kick, and I'm sure it is for any newly pregnant mom, but it's such a beautiful process, for sure. The day we had Kira was amazing. It was 3 days, so it was a long process, but finally when we got to hold her, it was so incredible. It was just amazing. She was perfect. She came out with this ginger hair, and we were just shocked to see this little ginger hair, big blue-eyed baby girl, and she was just perfect. She was 6 pounds 6 ounces, and then to see Kevin holding her and just know everything that he had been through, and then everything that we had been through together to now be a family, it was pretty perfect.
Pretty sick. But I didn't end up going back into the hospital for a stay since Kira was born, though, so that's kind of weird. We like that happened, like it's put my focus other. It's changed diapers and raise a child now, right? So, but right when I saw her, I've never seen anything like that in my life, so it's probably, one of the best days of my life to see that could even happen after being told that we weren't able to, right?
I don't even know what my favorite part of being a mom is and being part of a family, because there's so many things. Like, Kevin and I are so lucky that we've been together for 19 years, so we really had our relationship strong, and just everything we went through with his cancer, that we had that foundation first before becoming parents. And then when you struggle to have parents, you just appreciate every moment. So I think my favorite thing is just hearing them laugh, hearing their little faces, looking in their eyes and seeing like my husband's eyes reflected back is pretty amazing.